Welcome to our weekly Ants Team Live training. We have a super exciting week today. I know we took a break last week to do our Avon HQ or our home office stream. So we're back and we're excited. Avon also had their conference this weekend. I'm just putting everything on mute so that you and I could chit chat without interruptions. But yeah, Avon just had its national conference for its for its gold gold leaders and above, I believe. I wasn't there, but Avon did have emails with all of their incentives and the new updates that they're doing. So I've been like diving into them and getting into all of the things that they've shared with us because I am super excited. I know you guys probably are too. So we are going to be talking about that a little bit tonight. The planning starts now. But we're also going to be catching up on some things that we talked about 2 weeks ago. So as I said, we took a little bit of a break for our Avon HQ campaign sales meeting last weekend. So last week Tuesday, I should say, not so much the weekend. Last week Tuesday. So we weren't here on our live stream, but you guys did have homework. So let's get to sharing. We usually start off our live stream here on Tuesday nights for the Ants Team live training with sharing your wins for the week, and I've shared multiple times how important that I think that is. So I feel like, again, we're like super high. Yeah, tone that down a little bit and back it up a little, right? Okay. So I did some renovating. I shared on my Facebook page the other day that I started a sewing class. So you can't see it, but like everywhere below there's pins and needles and fabric and things to kill me. But things were rearranged a little bit. But I feel like every weekend when we get on here, I've rearranged. But it keeps life interesting to try new things every once in a while, and it's always fun to just have something different. But that's not my win for the week. So we had our chat 2 weeks ago where we were talking about taking action steps, and we ended last year with planning, and we kind of rolled into the new year with planning, and then we did our action steps last week, and we sort of spoke about the importance of action steps, like real hardcore action steps. So I hope you guys all were there and took your notes, because now comes the time where we check back in and take a look at the 2 weeks if you haven't already. You guys know I'm big on journals, and I always believe it's good to write down your tasks and your to-do on a daily basis so that you can review and catch up, and we talked about that a little bit last week. So if you didn't write down your tasks in your daily journal, now is a really good time for you to get on and share with us. We always say we're it's open crowd. We all share with each other, and we have a good crew here, so it's a safe space for you to share. So don't feel intimidated about sharing. We're all here to cheer you on. So be sure to share your wins for the week. Share the things that you're celebrating, the successes that you have, the achievements that you had from your action steps during the week. So I also set my action steps, and some of the things, I have different steps for every day, but I'll share some of the things that I do with you. So the power of 3 and the power of 5 are big in the Avon blogosphere, the Avon world. We're always talking about practicing the power of 3 or the power of 5, doing something where you're promoting your business to new people every day. And if you can't do the power of 5 every day, I always say, maybe on a weekend or on a Thursday, you might do the power of 25. But the key step is to get your business out in front of people, to talk to people, to share your business, share the opportunity so that you can find new customers, find new recruits, and find new teammates. So a lot of times when we're talking about, how do I get started? How do I grow my business? How do I do this thing? What it basically, at the foundational core of the whole thing is you have to promote yourself. You have to find customers. You can't do this without having people who buy from you. But if you start off like I did without customers initially, you can find them, but you have to actively be taking those steps to look for new clients. So one of the things that I've been doing was I set on my calendar, talk to X amount of people per day. So I was glad. There were days where I forgot what happened last week. Oh, there was a threat of snowstorm. So I ended up not going to work. So what I normally do is I might like talk to people going on the train in the morning, maybe during lunch, maybe in the evening on the way home from work. I try to sprinkle it in throughout my day. So it's not like, okay, do this right now. You have to talk to 10 people. And if you don't, then you're going to burst into a ball of flame. I try to, what I'm working on, I could do the, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to talk to Avon people, button, hat, pin, tablecloth. I could do that. My challenge has been more what we call indirect prospecting, where it's like conversationally sharing the business with people, striking up a conversation, getting to know people. So that's kind of been where I've struggled. I'm okay with saying it like, yeah, I'm a Avon rep, which like sample pack, or when's the last time you saw Avon brochure? I didn't start off this way. Believe me, I've shared with you guys many times that when I first started, I couldn't even say hi to people. I remember, I might have shared this with you, but I remember years ago, even one time I was talking to a woman, a friend of the family, and she was like, why don't you speak up? People, don't you know people can't hear you? So that's where I was in terms of my shyness. I was not, you know, a bold, outspoken person growing up. So I practiced to get up to this level. And now I'm practicing something else, which was the indirect prospecting. Just, you know, trying to expand my network, not so much always going out with, you know, here's my business card or here's my sample pack, not leading with that, but, you know, developing a relationship with strangers and then segueing into my business. So that was one of the things that I practiced last week, and I was happy that I checked it off. I think I had like a 3 out of 4 days, but then I made up like double on the weekend, so that was great. Another thing was I wanted to have a certain amount of phone calls to my team and to leads each day, and I was able to hit that goal. There was one day where I was super productive. I think it was that same snow day. It's amazing how the opposites work, because although I couldn't go out to practice one thing, I said, you know, I'm home, I can make the phone calls. So I doubled down on the phone calls after work, because I work from home. But after work, I was like, it's great because I didn't have that commute. And at first I was like, oh, kind of missed my chance now to find the strangers to converse with. But on the other hand, it was like, well, you know, that hour, 45 minutes that I'm usually spending on the train, I could use towards getting in some extra phone calls. So I was like really efficient, surprisingly, in that respect. And there's a third one. Well, I think I just kind of combined connecting with my team and leads into one. So I had broken it down into 3. But so those were my wins for last week. In terms of my action steps. So I just wanted you guys to see, and I don't see this chat box going. I feel like I should have some more, you know, chat happening in this box, because I know you guys had a full 2 weeks to practice your action steps, and I didn't give you action steps. These are steps that you were determine for yourself. So the point of it is that first and foremost, you can do this. You just have to have a plan, which is what we talked about the first week in this year. Setting your goals and deciding on what is important to you, and then picking the action steps to get you closer to that goal. So these are things that you want to have on a consistent basis, because again, maybe for me, I could have done this, been super successful, hit all my goals for the whole week, and that would have been fine. But for the following week, or the week after, the week, you know, the upcoming week, if I don't do anything, then, you know, it's a loss. So the point is, you have to have your goal, know what you're working towards. You need to have your action steps that you're going to do to get you closer to that goal. And then you need to take the consistent action. It's not enough to do it one day, and regardless of the result, you know, whether it's good or whether you felt that there was room for improvement. Notice I didn't say bad, because there's no failure or bad when you're practicing your action steps. It's all an experience for you to learn from. So whether it was like a really great day, or you say, you know what, I'm going to evaluate and I think I could do that a little bit better. Regardless of the outcome, if you only do it once or twice or once every month, it's not enough. If you want to see consistent action, if you want to see consistent results, you have to practice consistent action. Let me do that one more time. If you want to see consistent results, you have to have consistent actions. I don't know why that doesn't want to come out my mouth properly. I guess it's like painful for me to say even. And you know, hey, we all go through this, and there are things that we all struggle with, things that we're all intimidated by. But I can tell you, and I will tell you honestly, for me, there is, you know, again, as a super shy person, as a young person, as a person who started this business as a young business owner, what do we, I only have on one earring, guys. You guys can't, you know, tell a sister. Come on, Avon fam. Uh, I'm talking to you guys with one earring and nobody, it's my phone ear. Told you I was working on my calls, but, so yeah, coming from where I started, looking at the things that I struggle with, and there are still things I'm struggling with, you guys know this, I can honestly tell you that the feeling of overcoming those obstacles, and this is one of the things that I've been working with myself this year to kind of just seize upon and ignore the negative stuff, or the focus on the negative things, the things that maybe aren't the way that I want them to be. I've been trying to like just hone in on the good stuff, but I have found that having done the scary things and being able to now do them and not be as frightened, or to teach it and, you know, coach and mentor someone on my team to do the same things, I tell you, it is a really good feeling. So I encourage you to push yourself out of your comfort zone. It is uncomfortable. That's why it's out of your comfort zone. It's uncomfortable. It's disheartening. Sometimes it's just downright scary. And I can tell you there were times where I was physically just like a leaf in the wind. And, you know, I didn't want to do it. There are times where I set out to do something and then I didn't do it. And then the next time around, it was just like that little voice in your head, like, oh, you're not good at this. You can't do that. Last time you tried it, you failed. Last time you tried it, you made a fool of yourself. Everybody's going to laugh at you and you're not going to get anywhere. All that stuff, all that talk, you have to just ignore it and plow ahead. Because then when you do it and you do reach your goal and you do get it, then all the naysayers and all those voices in your head, they'll still be there. They still might be there. But you'll be able to talk back and be like, look, let me tell you something. So you want to get to that point. So let's see what goals, what action steps you guys took over the past 2 weeks and what your results are. So, Miss Janet and Miss Kathleen, thank you guys for joining us. Welcome. Hey, Miss Kathleen, Miss Lisa, Miss Deb, thank you all for joining. Miss Kathleen was that her goal was to gain 2 customers each day. Awesome. Sorry, not Miss Kathleen, Miss Catherine. Miss Catherine, sorry, screen is far. Miss Catherine's goal is to gain 2 new customers each day. So Miss Catherine, fill us in. How are you doing with your goal, and what steps are you doing to get you to that goal? Because remember, having 2 customers, that's a goal, but you also want to line up your action steps so that you can get to that goal. So step 1 is to set your goal. Step 2 is to line up the action steps. So what are some of the things that you're doing? What are some of the things that you're planning to do? What are some of the things that you've set out to do that maybe you've done, or maybe you felt a little bit of hindrance towards doing? And don't be shy. Like I said, safe zone. I am completely sharing all of the scary stuff with you guys, so don't be afraid of me, because I know where you're coming from. And you might find that there is like some empowerment in sharing even the scary moments, because especially on this chat, I am so proud of, again, the atmosphere that we have here, but everybody is so super supportive. You might actually find feedback. Not saying that you were having any issues, Miss Catherine in particular, but if anyone else out there is kind of just feeling like, well, I don't know if I want to say. And if you want to put like a little something in before what you type, like, don't say this out loud, but you can do that, and you know, we could just have a chat about it. Hello, Miss Milagros. Welcome back. Thank you for sharing all of your live streams with us so that we can stay posted and know of all the things that are happening while you guys are away. Miss, let's see. Oh, earrings. Yes, Miss Kathleen said she didn't notice. It's like we're with family. Nobody cares. Whatever, right? Thank you, Miss Catherine. Miss Catherine said that she did a table event. Awesome. So one of her action steps was to have a table event. The table events are kind of like what they sound like, an event where you put out a table and you talk to people. It could be something at a flea market, a craft fair, in front of a store, a business establishment on the street, or in a mall, or inside of a business or restaurant. So it varies and depends on where you are and what you want to do. So congrats to you, Miss Catherine. Great job. Miss Janet, welcome and thank you. Miss Janet is in her sales meeting. Girl, don't get me in trouble. Put the volume on low and, hide the screen. Miss Francis and Miss Anitra, thank you guys for joining. Welcome, welcome. So keep going with your action steps for the week, and keep sharing those things, and also stay on top of them. I encourage you. My journal's in my purse, but you might find it helpful as well to journal. Sit down. For me, what I do every morning, actually, it starts on the beginning of the week. So Sunday night, before I get into the week, I kind of look at and evaluate some of the things that I want to get done during the week. And I find I have to kind of do it this way because the week will start and end, and I'll be like, wait, there was something I was supposed to do. It's 2 weeks later. And I mean, I still do that, and because I'm kind of getting back in the habit of journaling regularly. But from Sunday night, I try to just do a brain dump of all the things that I need to get done for the week. And it helps me because I find there's just too much to be juggling up here between my Avon business, my personal life, my school studies, and my job. Sometimes my boss asks me something and I'm like, let me open the file where I keep all my notes because I'm not memorizing all this stuff. But it just kind of frees up some mental space. So Sunday night, I try to just do a brain dump of all the stuff that I need to do for the week. And then I break it up across the week. What am I doing Tuesday? What am I doing Wednesday? What am I doing Thursday? But by doing it in the beginning of the week, I kind of have an overview. I am the person who overplans. I am that friend who you'll invite out, and then an hour or two before, I'm like, oh shoot, I am 30 minutes away doing something else, but hang on, I'm coming. I completely double booked. I do that all the time. So a lot of times when I just make my list, I'll say, oh yeah, I could do all of this on Tuesday. And then as I start to put it into the calendar on Tuesday, I'm like, oh wait, this kind of doesn't fit. I gotta take some stuff out, and okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. But now what do I do with the other stuff that I had to do on Tuesday? And it kind of, I kind of rearrange my calendar. So for me, like my mom, she's a list person. She could do Sunday, this is what I'm going to do for the week, and I don't know, she just mentally organizes it as she goes. Me, I am like, this is not going to fit in Tuesday. I need to cut it down to this and take all that other stuff and spread it across the week. So then, I spread it across the week. But then on a daily basis, I look at the things that I needed to do for that day, the stuff that I had planned out on Sunday. But I also look at my goals. What are the 3 things that I'm going to do today to build my business? Am I going to call 5 leads, talk to 2 team members, call milagros? What is on my list, the 3 things, the 3 action steps that I'm going to do to get myself closer to my goals? Am I calling, is today customer delivery day? Is it customer order day? Is it customer order collection day? Is it order packing day? Is it going to a sales meeting or a training day? What are the 3 things that I'm going to do? Sometimes they're huge things, like a table event like Miss Catherine, where I know, it's a good chunk of my day. Sometimes it's, you need to sit down and you need to text a reminder to your team members to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes it's something that'll, edit my images for Instagram. Sometimes it's write a blog post, edit my videos for YouTube, set my conversation, my discussion topics for this week's live training. So it varies, and there's a multitude of different things that you can do. What also helps me is to have a giant list of the things that I do repeatedly. I've gotten to the point where I've kind of shifted it into my calendar, and I did a blog post on this a few, maybe a couple of years ago now. But there's stuff that you just do repeatedly. Your order goes in every 2 weeks. You have to deliver to your customers every 2 weeks. The day that your order is due. So you kind of get in a groove of every Tuesday is this, every Thursday is that. So there's some things that I know that I do repetitively that have shifted into my calendar, and I've tried to put as much as possible into my calendar to on specific days. So I know, instead of saying, okay, today's Monday, what am I going to do today? What do I feel like? What's the mood telling me? I know Today's order delivery day. Bang. That's one thing. Okay, today I gotta do, you know, this, and the other thing. Those are just done every Wednesday. So it takes out some of the guesswork of what I'm doing. It takes out some of the anxiety sometimes, because I know if Thursday's my prospecting day, I'm mentally prepared for it from Wednesday. Even, like, I remember when I was afraid to do it, I needed to prepare mentally the night before. And it just gotten to the point where it's like, it's something that I do every Thursday now, so it's not such a big deal. So sometimes having that consistency in the repetitive tasks of your calendar are really helpful. So I know the discussion title isn't, you know, calendaring and planning, but the stuff that we're going to talk about today, these things that we're talking about, I was just like, wow, it's amazing. Like the month of January, I completely didn't plan it, but it worked out really well because we had our goal setting in the first week, and then we had our action steps in the second week. We had a break, and over the course of that break, Avon released some new incentives. So now that we know about our goal setting and we know about the action steps, the things to do, not just the, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend the next 2 months labeling brochures, you know, the real core of the stuff that's going to get you closer to your goals. You know what those things look like now. And if you don't, again, get in the comments box, because that's what this is for. This is not me to just, you know, blah, blah, blah at you guys. It's supposed to be a dialogue for us. So if you have questions, you know, about action steps, what do they look like? Or if you're doing something that you want to know, is this an action step? You know, feel free to post and we'll go ham. We'll share and you know, chat with you. But now that you have these core things, we could start planning specific steps for specific goals in connection with these incentives that we're going to be doing. So, let's see. Yes, thank you, Miss Milagros, for sharing your video from from San Diego, making us all jealous, but keeping us filled in. Oh, Millie's actually just on her way from San Diego. So I hope that you get home safely and that you have safe travels. Hey, Miss Anitra, Miss Janet. Yes, I will catch you on the replay. Don't miss your sales meeting. Who else? Okay. Thank you, Miss Kathleen. It's the lights. And my metabolism boost, my Espira energy line. I actually, you guys know, I'm not big on healthy eating or clean living, but I actually, oh, I guess I could chalk this up to another win for the week. But I've actually been doing the Espira 30-day challenge. So I did my ideal cleanse. I've been taking my natural energy and my hunger block, and my metabolism boost is currently in my handbag because I just need it. But I have been, for those of you who are on the Espira 30-day challenge last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked, I know you guys said that you were starting your cleanse and you were loving the new products. I'm also doing the protein powder. So I've actually noticed, like, I know this is what they told us we would feel, so I don't know why I'm kind of surprised, but like I feel good, like physically, even like my face, I just feel like I'm not breaking out as much as I used to, and my skin just feels, I don't even know how to explain it. It feels good, like healthy. I guess all the coffee and you know, all the extra stuff that I would snack on when I was hungry wasn't doing wonders for me. And I mean, I still don't sleep. I'm just, like, this is my week where I'm trying to catch up with my sleep. But I have felt the difference since I've cut a lot of that, like, stuff out of my diet. And I know it's going to be hard for me to keep up because coffee is just, I take it intravenously at this point. But the natural energy and the metabolism boost have really helped me to not drink as much coffee as I used to, and I do feel like my skin has just felt better. So good job, Espira. Hello, Giselle, who's also from NYC. Shout out to the New Yorkers. Miss Charlene, thank you as well. So Miss Kathleen says, yes, Espira. I'm so excited about this line. So if you haven't tried it, get on it because there's some good stuff in there. Oh, also, third, I guess we're going on fourth win right now. So we talk about action steps, core things to get you closer to your goals. But we also talk about wins and how sometimes your wins aren't always like a specific, you know, I called 5 people today, or I had an event today. Sometimes it's things to make your life easier. Sometimes it's the things that maybe you've been putting off for a while. So I wanted to share one with you guys today before I realized that I had a whole bunch of other wins to share. But one of the things I'm working on, what you will probably, hopefully, be seeing a video for recently, is I depotted all my makeup. So this is Avon related though, but they're not magnetized yet. But I've been working on my makeup palettes, and I bought a whole bunch of Avon eyeshadow because I've been practicing. But I depotted all of my makeup. I put them all in trays so you guys could see the madness that's going on. So between sewing and doing depotting my makeup, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But this was something that I kind of set out to do a long time ago, and it was kind of getting out of control because I do my makeup videos for my channel. I try to use and practice with the products myself so I can share with my customers what to use and what goes with one, and you know, how to use certain things. I feel like I should practice with as much as I can so that I can speak from experience when I'm sharing with my customers. But so this was one of the things that I set out to do last week, that I actually got done. So that was I felt like it was just a productive week. So just wanted to share that with you guys, because I know sometimes we don't always have a win that's like, you know, I talked to 10 new customers this week, or I got 15 new recruits. Sometimes it's something like this, where it's just like, I did something that was on my to-do list, I crossed it off, I'm good. So those are things that should still be celebrated, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So why don't we dive into the meat and potatoes of this thing? So let me get my notes, because I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys, and I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing the sneak previews from San Diego, a la Milagros, and all the other leaders that were there. So if you haven't, that's okay. I'm going to kind of fill you in on some of the things that I think are my highlights. And tonight, we're not going to dive into like specifics on goal set. We're going to do a little bit of goal setting, but not specifically like, you know, what to do to earn incentives. But we're going to touch on some of the incentives that Avon has, some of the new things that they're bringing for us, so that you guys can start making your plan now. I know a lot of these incentives don't kick in until campaign 5 and campaign 7, and you know, well, a couple of them actually have started in campaign 1, but some of them don't start for a while. And I noticed that what representatives will do sometimes is wait until it starts to start their action steps or to start their planning. And if you're waiting until the incentive starts, you're kind of already behind. You want to start planning ahead of time. And this is something that I'm learning to do myself. So you want to know ahead of time what's happening so that you can start preparing. Especially with recruiting incentives, you kind of want to get people in the pipeline. So if a person signs up, let's say an incentive starts in campaign 5, and a person signs up in campaign 3 or 4, they may not be ordering in campaign 3 or 4. They may not be ordering until campaign 5 or 6. So they would count towards your incentive. So I see this happen a lot where people are like, oh, you know, there's an incentive starting in 5, so I'm not going to recruit anybody until 5. And I'm like, oh. Like, I got 2 problems with that, because I'm like, on the one hand, if you have someone who's really excited and wants to sign up, just let them get started, because they've got that excitement. They're ready to go. So our job as leaders is to help them to get started, right? So just help them. Secondly, okay, I have 3 problems. Secondly, as a leader, it's your job to partner with others. So if they're excited about getting started, let them start soon and start the incentive with you. You guys could do it together. I mean, more fun, right? Yeah. And thirdly, if you keep, and I've seen this happen, if you keep putting them off like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it, I'll show you, they're going to go online, or they're going to pick up the phone and call Avon, or they're going to find someone else, another leader in the area. And again, I've had this happen because a lot of times they're coming to ask me, and they're going to say, you know, I have a friend who sells Avon. I've been asking her about how to get started, and I don't really think she wants to help me start, but I really want to do this. So how do I do it? And they're gonna go somewhere else. So don't put the brakes on anyone else's dreams and goals. You know, if they want to get started in campaign 3 or 4, even though the incentive starts in 5, let them start in 3 and 4. You guys can start together, or you know, they can at least get their materials and start to understand what's happening and be ready, you know, collecting orders so that they can start in campaign 5. But I just wanted to kind of say that as a side note, like watch out, FYI, don't be the person who does this. That is not one of our action steps that we want to be practicing in this crew. So I'd like to start the incentives ahead of time. So I'm going to kind of show you some of the things that I do to get started, to prepare myself. So as you can see here, I have a lot of paper. I'm really not a paper person, but I really printed these out for your benefit. I know Miss Janet is like, yay, paper! But Miss Janet is a person I know who is always on point when it comes to incentives. She prints out, reads, marks up, knows what's coming, and knows what's happening. And that will come in handy because whenever there's an incentive, there are things that you need to be aware of, like what campaign does it start? What are the rules? Like first and foremost, the main thing you want to know is the time frame. When does it start? When does it end? What the requirements are? Is it just recruits, or is it recruits with a $150 order? Is it the first campaign, or is it the second campaign? So there are things like that that you want to be aware of so that you're prepared. So you're not just like, oh yeah, I signed up 10 people and nobody's placed an order yet. So knowing ahead of time what the rules are will really help you. So the first thing that you want to do is, it's really just knowledge. You have to be aware of incentives. The other thing that I want you to be aware of, okay, you're officially watching this video, so you won't be in this category, but I want to challenge those of you who maybe have teams, who are leaders, and when I say leader, I don't necessarily mean bronze, silver, and gold leader versus bronze, silver, and gold ambassador versus a star promoter or promoter. If you're a gold executive or whatever, you already know what you're doing, so you're good. But I mean, when I say leader, I just mean someone who has referred a friend. Even if you have one person, I consider you a leader because you have partnered with this person to lead them into this business. So maybe I should use the word mentor, but I like the word leader a little bit better. Because, you know, you're leading the way. You're setting the stage. You're the guy, you're Sherpa for your friend, your family member, your coworker, whoever you brought into this business. So for those of you who are leaders, make it your priority to know these incentives and make your team aware. Because one of my pet peeves, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this talk with you guys, at first I said, you know what, don't talk about the incentive. Just say something like, you know, there are a lot of incentives. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. But I realized that, one, not everybody reads their emails, even though I know team members are emailing. Like for me, I know I email my team, I post on Facebook, but Avon is also emailing, and they're including flyers in orders, and still somehow, some strange way that boggles my mind. If you guys know, please explain to me, because I can't explain it myself, but there are always a couple of people who are like, what incentive? I didn't hear anything about cruise like a boss. I didn't hear anything about drive like a boss. What do you... Oh, that thing that was in my kit, that little flyer with the boat on it? Oh, okay, yeah, there's been a picture of a boat on youravon.com when I went to place my order, but I didn't know what it was talking about. So I want to challenge you guys. Here we go again with the challengers. Click, open emails, read, go to meetings, attend trainings, because winning starts with knowledge. You cannot win an incentive, you cannot earn an incentive without knowing that it's there. And I don't know if it's a thing where we're kind of just like, yeah, we'll earn it by default. If you're that lucky, great. If you're one of those people who are at that point, again, more power to you. Personally, I am not. I need to plan, track, you know, push, shove, and you know, go full steam ahead when I'm trying to track for incentives. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. But it's very rare that I've opened my email or opened my order and, just said, oh, cool, I just earned a trip. I didn't know anything about that. So be conscious of the incentives. Look, today I was talking to Janet because, I didn't plan on sharing this, but Janet, I'm going to put you on blast for a minute. But when I met Janet on a number of occasions before I really got to know Janet. But we met in passing a few times, and one of the times, and it's always at like interesting points in my Avon career, but we never really knew each other. But one of those moments, I met with her, not for us to have a meeting. There was a third party involved. It just so happened that that third party didn't show up, so me and her ended up sitting across from each other like, oh, well, how's it going? And one of the things I shared with her was I was kind of having trouble with some things. I had already joined leadership, but there were some things I just couldn't, I was just having difficulty with. Not going to get into it now in this video because it's just not about that. But she said to me, oh, let me show you how you couldn't do that. Let me show you how to get around that, because you can do all this stuff yourself. You could function on your own. You are an independent sales representative. And like, I don't even remember her exact words, but I do remember her saying, you're an independent sales representative. And to this day, sometimes I kind of hear her voice, like, you're an independent sales representative. And she was like, basically the gist of what she said was, as an independent sales representative, I should be able to work my business independently. I shouldn't have to rely on anyone else for information. I shouldn't have to rely on anyone else to explain anything to me. I shouldn't have to rely on anyone else to connect with me, plan events, or invite me to things. She was like, all of these things are here for you. Back in the day, that was before like Avon had the YouTube channel and the Facebook page and all that stuff. But she was like, here's this number, this number, this number. You call this for this, you call this for this, you call that for that. If you want this, you can find that here. If you want this, you can find it here. And it wasn't like a notebook that she gave me. It was just a few things that I, just kind of made me aware of, yeah, I could do this on my own. If I have questions, I don't have to keep trying to get in contact with one person who wasn't returning my contacts. I could just go straight to the source and get the information. So I say that I met Janet at key points in my Avon career, but this one, I was just saying to her today, I feel like it was a turning point for me, because that was the point where I went from a leader, a representative with a team, to an independent leader. I can't really explain, because like, you are leading when you have a team, but it transitioned me into a mindset where I was the source. I knew where to go and get information. I knew how to look things up and do my own research and figure out my own incentives, so that when we did get into meetings, it wasn't me just like, feed me, I have no idea what's happening, just chew it and regurgitate it for me to swallow. It was me coming like, okay, yeah, I know we have this incentive, and it's going to be this, this, and this, so I'm thinking we could do this, this, and this. So instead of starting back here like, teach me about what we're doing, what's happening in the Avon world, we started off here because we were like, okay, I know this is going to go on, so what are we going to plan? We went from feed me to let's do this. So we were always, at a point where we kind of skipped over stuff. And when I started to work later on in my Avon career, like within the last few years, we had meetings and team discussions. You could feel the atmosphere where it was like, okay, feed us. And then the other atmosphere when, we got together with leaders, and it's a group of people who were saying to each other, okay, we know what's coming out, we know what's rolling out, what are we going to do from here? What is our plan? And, we could start earlier because we came into the meetings knowing what we were discussing, instead of coming to the meetings to learn and then having to have another meeting to discuss. So know your incentives, know what's happening, because you are an independent sales representative. We're here to coach, mentor, and guide you. I don't know about you, but I'm not a brave bird, and I don't like the idea of people throwing up stuff for me to swallow. Just doesn't. Mm. So you want to be independent. When you go out, you hunt your own food, and you come back. Not just, feed me, but okay. I kind of have, even if you have questions and you're like, I saw that, but I have a question about that. Or does it mean this, or does it mean that? Because we have those discussions too. But if you don't even know what's happening, you can't get to the point where you have that discussion. If you don't know what's happening, you can't get to the point where you're planning. If you don't know what's happening, then you can't even, like, how can you plan for something you just don't know or don't understand? So you're kind of already behind. So I'll be honest with you guys, it's not to be a negative Nancy, but that is one of my pet peeves where I'm like, hey, what do you think about this incentive? Are you ready? Have you heard about this? What are we going to do? What are your action plans? And the people are like, what incentive? I don't know what you mean. Oh, that flyer. So be aware of what is happening. Miss Kathleen says every time she receives the Avon incentive, she posts on her Facebook page, and she always posts on her team members page. So I like that. Miss Kathleen receives and she sends out. And when I see people receiving and sending out, I know that, it's kind of been processed. They know that it's an incentive. They know it's coming around. They kind of put it out there for the other team, for their other teammates. It's not just like, yeah, I saw that. There was a blue flyer in the kit. I don't know what was on it. I don't know what it was talking about, but, it just passed me by. And if you're a person who maybe you haven't achieved any incentives, and I will tell you, when I first started to, I saw the flyers, I saw the incentives, and I was going through some notes the other day, and I shared this with you guys too. I saw some notes where I was writing about an incentive that they had coming up, but according to what I was writing, I knew, I shouldn't say I knew, but I didn't believe that I would be able to earn it. So I glossed over it, like, this is what they're having, but that's kind of not, for me, that's not my focus. What I found now is even when there's an incentive that I don't know if I'm going to earn, I still try for it. A, I might surprise myself. B, if I go for it, we always say reach for the moon, fall among the stars. I always find that if I go for it, maybe I don't earn it and I'm, devastated and sad that I didn't. But I can look at my numbers or look at the results for my team or my personal sales, whatever, and I could say, but you know what? I'm further along than I was. You know what? I surprised myself. I didn't think that I could sell $500 every campaign. You know what? President's Club seems so far away from me, but I've been, I've increased my sales a little bit. I did a little extra to find some more customers. Maybe I didn't earn that final incentive, but the incentives are there to motivate you and encourage you to push out of your comfort zone for a little additional something. But the incentive isn't really the point of everything. I know a lot of you guys are like, wait a minute. The incentive is the point. But I don't believe that incentives are the point. I feel that the incentives are the rewards for doing the things that you should be doing in your business. If you have an exceptional launch and you grown your team, you've changed title, you've helped new people get into the business, you've helped your team increase your sales, then here's a bonus reward for you. It's like, Mother's Day. Mom is always an awesome mom, right? But on this one day, you do a little something extra to just express that, Mom, I care about you. But if you only did Mother's Day stuff on Mother's Day and like the day after Mother's Day, you're again like, then, not the point. So the incentives are like Mother's Day. It's an extra reward. It's icing on the cake. It's frosting, whipped cream, and caramel sauce on your sundae. But it's the whole experience. It's all the ice cream and everything underneath as well. It's all the other days that you're good to mom, and you're doing the things that you should be doing anyway. So that's kind of how I look at incentives. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe another leader will tell you something different. We all look at things differently, but that's just kind of how I see it. So, Nancy said you got the power and finally used it. Yeah, so let's look at some of the incentives we have. So I'm super excited because there are a ton of great incentives that Avon is rolling out. So the first we have is the Build It Like a Boss incentive. That's this one here. So in this incentive, they're giving away a multitude of things. We're talking electronics, like the iPhone X. I didn't even know there was an iPhone X. The iPad Mini, an Amazon Echo Dot, the Nintendo Switch video game. Year-long prizes like free cell phone service. So those of you who, your phone is cut off every 2 months, or you're using your phone for your business, whatever side of the spectrum you're on, I can use free cell phone service for a month. I know how much I pay per month. I know at the end of a year, that's a pretty penny in savings. Plus free Avon products and free meals. Side note, funny story, one of the first incentives I did, it was, the way I understood it, I thought it was going to give us free admission. Back in that time, we used to have to pay, I think, either $10 or $20, to share a conference room. So every representative basically chipped in, and we got a conference room and we got food for the guests. So we did that maybe 4 times a year. So we're talking $100. So the first incentive I did, I thought it was to earn free admission for those 4 incentives. And I did the math. Oh, and travel. So I did the math real quick, and I was like, we're talking about $200 savings? I'm in. I could use that extra money. That can go towards student loans, towards books, towards a phone bill, or whatever. I was like, if it's money that I can save, it's money that I get to keep in my pocket, or that I get to allocate towards something else, I'm in. So not every incentive has to be, Avon, don't listen to this part, because every incentive has to be $1,000. But I mean, don't look at this any incentive and say, oh, it's only $200, or it's only $500, or it's only a $25 gift card. If I use that $25 gift card to pay for some supplies that I was going to have to buy anyway, it's an extra $25. I'll take that. So free cell phone services, free meals, cash, gift cards, gadgets, and exclusive Avon swag. So the Build Like a Boss incentive is for recruiting. You refer a friend who places a $150 order in the first or second campaign. Avon sends you some of these prizes, and it's not just, one-off, like we have one car for the entire US. It's 10 free meals, 25 iPhones, 75 iPad minis, 75 Yeti coolers or something, 250 Keurig K-Select brewers. Another one of the first incentives I did. Coffee person, I wanted a Keurig, and I was actually saving up to buy one. It's a couple $100. And then Avon came out with an incentive for it. I was like, I want that coffee machine. And I think I said to my district manager, I want that coffee machine. And I earned it. So 250 Keurigs, 250 Espira for a year, 150 $100 gift cards, 150 Fuji instant mini cameras, 250 air fryers, fried food, 500 Amazon Echo Dots, 450 tool sets, $550 gift cards. So we're talking stuff. And these are you get. You recruit, you get a scratch-off ticket. Every single ticket is a winner. It is not a competition. It is not a raffle. It's not a drawing. You do this, you get a ticket. It just depends on what the ticket is for. We did this last year. I loved it. Be sure to use your hashtag, which is hashtag BLAB, BLAB about Avon. So hashtag BLAB about Avon. So we had a lot of fun with that last year. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. We also have the Espira Shake Up Your Sales incentive, where you can earn Espira swag. I tell you guys, I love my Avon buttons, my Avon hats. I love the stuff, my Avon umbrellas. Oh my gosh. From last year's scratch-off ticket incentive, I won a couple of Avon umbrellas, and I walk around with those umbrellas, and people, see them, we strike conversations, like, why do you have so many Avon umbrellas in your car? Well, let me tell you. So it's a conversation builder. So with the Espira Shake Up Your Sales, you can earn Espira swag. So when people see you in that stuff, or when you're having a little get-together or an event, and you're wearing your swag, conversation starters, interest makers, stuff that you can share on social media that you've won and that you've earned. So the Espira Shake Up Your Sales. There are new ways to earn with Avon. So whether you're an existing representative or a brand new representative, although if you're a brand new representative, you're going to be super, super excited, because you know how we say you can earn $1,000 in your first 90 days? Now with this rapid promotion incentive, you can earn up to, I believe it was $7,500. I'm gonna say that one more time because I had to read that number a few more times myself. $7,500. So what Avon is doing is they're doubling your bonus. Like, how many times can you say, yeah, I doubled my paycheck this year? Oh yeah, I got a raise of double my salary. How many of you had a Christmas bonus this year that were double your Christmas bonus from last year? And how many of you got that doubled Christmas bonus more than one time during the year? Not very many, right? Unless you're already an Avon rep, in which case, you know, this is just another day at the job, right? So what Avon is doing is they've had standard bonuses that everyone is eligible for, that you still will be eligible for outside of the time frame of this promotion incentive. But what they're saying is for new representatives who are earning early and starting fast and, you know, just really passionate about growing their business in the beginning, we see how excited you are. We see your energy. We see what you're trying to do. I see you, girl. They're looking at that and they're saying, you know what? We know it's hard to learn a new business and learn new products and, you know, get the Avon lingo, but you're doing it. So we're going to double your earnings. We want to give you double the bonus that we normally give out. How about that? So they are doubling the incentive. So to get to the bronze ambassador, if you get to the bronze ambassador level, normally you earn $500. If you do it within your first, as a new representative, if you do it within your first, let's see, within the specified time frame, which I'm trying to see is not here. Must be on page 2, which I don't have. But if you do it within the specified time frame, then, between campaign 5 and 13. So if you do it within the specified campaigns, then you will get $1,000 instead of $500. For silver ambassador, if you get, normally you get $750, now you're going to be getting $1,500. If you promote to gold ambassador, you used to get a $1,000 bonus, now you get $2,000 bonuses. So I mean, to be honest with you, for me, the standard bonuses, an extra $500, an extra $750, an extra $1,000, an extra $1,500 was like cash. Awesome, let's do this. Now they're just kind of knocking it out of the park. They're just kind of rubbing it in our face, like, you thought 500 was good? I'm gonna give you 1,000. How about that? So 500 to 1,000, 750 to 1,500, 1,000 for gold ambassadors, now jumping up to 2,000. So this is great because as a new representative, you have that option to really launch your business successfully in the beginning. And especially in the beginning, maybe your customer base isn't as huge, or you haven't really established the size of your team yet. So to see this kind of money coming in for that additional effort, you know, you get in, you grow fast, you'll be earning more in the long run. It's like when you're banking with interest. If you put a lot of money in the bank in the beginning, you'll gain interest on all of that investment over the course of the years. If you put in very little over a long period of time, your interest isn't as much. You're still gaining, but not as rapidly or as much as you would if you put a lump sum in the beginning. So Avon is taking that logic, because it does make sense. It makes sense in banking. It makes sense in business. It makes sense in Avon. They're taking that logic and saying, look, don't start your business in the beginning and say, I'm just getting started. I kind of want to get my feelers out there. I kind of want to do this, but I'm really not sure. They're saying, jump in, eyes wide open, both feet in the water, swim, and we will give you extra cash bonuses that are double what we normally give. So take that. And I kind of like to look at this compensation plan and think to myself, again, you know, how many other companies are giving the new person, the intern, the recent employee? I mean, the other day I was talking to a friend and she was saying how many times she's got passed over for raises and promotions because she doesn't have seniority. She does her job good. She does what she needs to do. She's probably even putting in more work than the other people, but because they've been there longer, they get the bonus. Avon said, no, we don't like that. We're going to turn this on its head and make it work for the new people just as well as the people who have been around for a while. So that is our rapid promotion incentive. So you can earn $750,000, sorry, $7,500. Look at me just like, anyway. You can earn $7,500 as a new representative joining this company. So for those of you who are leaders, this is the time to share with people. For those of you who had team members who were doing this before, but maybe they said something like, oh, I didn't really see the money coming in the beginning. Well, now you have a chance. But you are an independent sales representative, so it is up to you to go for these incentives and earn them. It's doable. Avon has new tools. Another thing that I saw from San Diego was new tools to support us. They're coming out with a new compensation plan, which is beautiful, fully lined and filled with fellow Avon representatives. I'd love to open the book like, I know her. This is awesome. But it's beautifully packaged and wonderfully made, and it makes it really easy to understand our compensation. Like right now I have everything printed out on different sheets, but what they're going to do is they're going to put it all in a booklet. How do you earn with Avon? If you're getting started with this business and you're wondering yourself, how do I earn? How do I make money? How do I, work these incentives in this President's Club or whatever? They put it all in the book so that, they make it easy for you to understand. So that's the new earnings guide. And as I've been showing you, they're updating the earning structure. They're really trying to put more money in our pocket. They're making it easier for us to earn. So I feel like since last year, for the last 2 years, I find myself every 5 minutes saying, this is the best time to join Avon. And then something new comes out. I'm like, no, this is the best time to join Avon. And here I am again, this is the best time to join Avon. So if you slept on all the other times that I've been telling you, or if you guys have people that you've been talking to and sharing with who have been sleeping on it, tell them now is the best time to join Avon. What I'm realizing from this is that it's just getting better and better. And I'm that kind of person who, I do this, one of the reasons I do this is because it's interesting. It's different every day. There's something new and exciting every time I turn my head. So they are creating these incentives to make it fun for us, to make it enjoyable for us, to take away the monotony that can come with a job. But, they're saying, that's for your day job. Here at Avon, we want to have fun. We want to do different things. We're taking trips to different places. We have different incentives and different compensation plans, different ways for you to earn different things. We're helping you to earn bigger cash bonuses, but we're also helping you to earn prizes. We're helping our established representatives grow their teams and, increase their earnings when they've been around for a while. But we're also helping our new people who are just starting out to be successful. And I see that and I'm liking it. So as a representative, I know you guys are excited about this too. Share your excitement. Let it speak for itself, because when people see you and are like, what is this Avon thing that you keep talking about? Why are you always so excited about this Avon? You could just be like, and share these things. It's not going to do you any good to just leave it. Oh yeah, I printed out the incentive. I learned about it. I studied it. I know I said, knowledge is power in the beginning. You need to know about the incentives. But you also need to share them, especially if you're a leader. Connect with people on your team to make sure that they understand, to be there if they have questions or to bounce ideas off of, but also, to just let them know that this is available to them. I can't tell you how many times people have been eligible for incentives, but they were just like oblivious to the fact that it existed. And if they had put in an extra, I shared with you guys last week, when people put in an order of $146 and miss going from, adding an extra 10%, going from 20 to 30% earnings because of $6, and I'm just like, let's look at the earning structure again. Let's look at this earnings chart one more time, because I want to make sure you understand that you're leaving money on the table here. So, you have to be aware, but you also have to act on and share. So that's the new guides and new earning structures. Also, I did mention for existing representatives, right? So they have this bronze leader incentive. It's a bronze leader development program where it pays to mentor. Sorry, I mentioned earlier, it's not just the new people, because I know there's somebody watching this like, they only want to do this for new people. They don't care about us old people. They care about us old people too. So they have this bronze leader incentive where if you again help other people, coach other people, mentor them to build their business as well, partner with them because they are just as independent as you are, and it is up to them to make these incentives. It's not you do, they get, or you expect someone else to do for you. It's you do, you get. So these incentives are there for you when you help other people. There are different bonus opportunities, so that when they grow and they get their bonuses, you do as well. So it's really, I love the image that Avon had when I first started, which was of a staircase with one person further up on the staircase, turning around and reaching back to help up someone else lower down the staircase. It really is a relationship built business, and looking at these incentives, I always just picture that image. So with this bronze leader incentive, you can earn $5,000 each incentive time frame. There are 2 incentive time frames, so you can earn up to $10,000. Now, I remember when I first started, the incentives were an extra $150, an extra $250, and I was excited about that. Like I said, $25, free lunch, free travel. I do that math real quick. Over the course of a year, it adds up. So I was excited about those incentives. Even as I was reading these incentives, I was like, this is cash. Like, this is down payment on a house, cash. Like, down payment on a car, cash. $10,000 for developing bronze leaders, up to $7,500 for the rapid promotion incentive, gift cards of, $1,000 gift cards, $50 gift cards. So there's a variety of ways for you to earn. You shouldn't be in this business and not earning anything. You should be working your sales, increasing your customer base. It doesn't even matter now whether you're a new representative or old representative, because there's something for everybody. There are opportunities to earn stuff, good stuff. I don't know if you can see this, but I hope they don't break into my house. But there's a little bit of TMI right here, but can you guys see? Earn stuff with Avon. I am not even like a huge earner. Yes, I've earned maybe one or two trips with Avon, but I wasn't always a earner. So when I earned stuff, it made it real to me that I could do this. It helped boost my self-esteem, my belief in myself. When I shared with other people, when I was out in the field and people were saying things like, oh, you don't get anything from Avon, I was like, yes, you do, because I have. And when people said, oh, but you need to be at the tippity top of the play plan, like the 1%, I was like, no, you don't, because I'm not, and I'm earning. So, these things, regardless of the size, regardless of whether it's the keychain, don't knock the keychains, because I love my Avon keychains, and I can tell you I found quite a few customers and recruits just by walking around my Avon keychains, to a $10,000 cash bonus. These things change mindset. They change your mindset, they change the mindsets of the people around you, and they empower other people. Because I still watch the other leaders, the Milagreses, the people who are earning the trips and doing the incentives. Jessica Z, the other day, she blew me away when she was recognized as one of the top achievers for the Bahamas trip. And there were other ladies that I met on the trip who were brand new representatives who had been selling for maybe 6 months, who earned their first trip as well. And I was just knocked out of my slippers, knocked completely out of my flip-flops and my swimming tube. Because I was like, wow, these ladies are doing it. I can do this. My team can do this. So it changes mindsets when you go for these incentives. It changes your community. It changes the atmosphere of the people around you. It's like, what's the term? Incense, fragrance, and aroma. It does something to the air around you. And I want you guys to be a part of it. So I don't just share these incentives so that, we could just have them as talking points, because now I'm over my time. I share them because I believe that you guys can earn them. I share them. I don't share, the stuff that I have earned. I'm not, saying, look what I got, just to say, look what I got. I'm saying, look what I got, because I'm not that much different from you. I'm coming from the same place as you. We're in the same boat. If I could do it, then so can you. If I could be that super shy 17-year-old who wasn't good at making conversations and speaking to strangers, and I could do this, so can you. And Avon is making it easier for us to earn a variety of things. So pick all of them. Don't just say, okay, well, There is a keychain incentive. That one sounds small and easy. I think I could do that one. Go for the huge one and pick up all the keychains along the way. If you don't make it, it's okay. I mean, if you do make it, great, awesome. Invite me to dinner or lunch. But if you don't, you'll earn other things on the way. Your team, like I said in the beginning, what I've learned, even if I miss an incentive, if I set my mind for it, even if I miss it, as sad as it is to say, okay, I missed that, I can look at what I built along the way and say, I built that. Next incentive, I can learn from what I did to see if I can get a little bit closer the next time. Or, you know, I did this, I earned my tiny little free invitation to a sales meeting, and now I believe that I could do this. So I could go ahead and earn my coffee maker and believe that I could do that. So I could go ahead and earn my iPad and believe that I could do that and move on to a TV and move on to a vacation. Maybe one of these days, maybe this is the time where I earn my $10,000 incentive. I don't know. If I do win it, I'm not going to tell you. No, I'm kidding. It's like lotto, right? Like, can I afford to take all of you guys out for lunch? I don't know. I'll try. But, you know, just believe and do. We talked about setting our goals. Now you have goals. We talked about our action steps. Put the pedal to the metal. Get those action steps down in your journal. Decide on what you're going to do, what things you're going to do each and every day, each and every week to help you earn these stuff. I think we can do this, guys. And I want to see you guys. And I want to see, as we go across, you know, the next few weeks, these incentives don't start for a while. But Bronze Leader starts in Campaign 7 and runs to Campaign 13. Rapid Promotion Incentive runs from Campaign 5 to Campaign 13, but we are in Campaign 4, most of us. Some of you have started Campaign 5 already, so we're there. So the time is now. Build Like a Boss, Campaign 1 to Campaign 10, we're in it. We're like in it. So these are stuff that I want to see you guys sharing your wins for the next week. I'm so excited. I'm literally falling out of my chair. But, you know, as we go through our wins, I want to see who's earning their scratch-off tickets, who's building their team, who's one step closer to reaching Bronze Ambassador and earning their first $1,000 cash bonus. Hit me up, though. Take me for lunch. I'm serious. I'll fly to where you are. And I'll pay for the flight myself, of course. But, you know, let's go for lunch. So let's see what amazing things come out of this. Because Avon's not doing it. I mean, I'm sure they enjoy giving away money. But they're doing this because they believe that we can earn this. We blew them away for the Bahamas because they were expecting this many representatives and this many came. So they're like, we see what you reps are doing. We see that you guys are excited about this and you're achieving stuff. We see that you're getting ready to earn these things. So we're going to put out a bunch of prizes. Like, I don't curse, but you know, a ton, a crap load of prizes for you to earn so that more of you can win. They're making these incentives so more people can win. They want that excitement. So don't not be aware of what's happening. Don't sleep on the incentive. Don't tell yourself you can't earn it. Don't do any of the stuff we said not to do last year. Do all the stuff that we were talking about doing this year. And I want to see you guys earn. I will be sharing with you guys too my journey as well, because I'm on the same path as you guys to earn these things. So looking forward to it, guys. Thank you all for joining. I hope I've gotten you all excited. I know I riled myself up. I you know, forget that coffee. I've got my Avon incentive energy. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week and chatting with you guys a little bit more. If you are on my team, we will have a further in-depth training this weekend in our campaign sales meeting. So don't forget to join in and, you know, keep the chat going here. All right, guys? Have a great night, and I'll talk to you next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m., same time, same place. Bye.